Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have the long-awaited thread. It's not really long-awaited, but I did say I was going to cover this thread. It is the one that has to do with the developments when it comes to the snowballing problem that's been in the game forever. There's been a lot of fixes, but this dev right here, he has stated a couple days ago that, you know, the changes that are coming, not in the next patch, but in 1.5.6, should almost completely get rid of the problem. So it should be at a very good point after that patch. And in this post right here, he's going to go over a lot of stuff that he has found, a lot of stuff I'm guessing that we're going to see changes in. And there's just a lot of data here, a lot of stuff that, you know, you can open up and check, you know, all of that, right? I'm gonna link this down below for you guys if you want to check it out for yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna read through it. I'm gonna give my opinions, and we're gonna go from there, like always. So let's do it. Information about developments at Snowballing Problem. I want to give some information about upcoming developments about Snowballing Problem. All these developments are done and will be ready at the 1.5.6 beta. There it is. Unfortunately, next beta 1.5.5, which will be uploaded next Monday or Tuesday. There you go, got some news too. Will not have these changes. So next Monday or Tuesday, which is, you know, pretty much next week, is getting really close. And we're going to have the next beta. Very good to hear. All right, so and obviously why it's not in the 1.5.5 is because they started testing, like, I think close to 2 weeks ago, the new 1.5.5 beta. So therefore they stopped adding stuff to it, and he probably finished this change after testing just started. So then it goes to the next beta. That's kind of how it works. Alrighty, so first let's determine problem. In Bannerlord, some kingdoms, usually Khazaits and Britannia, for me it's Khazaits and Vlandia, but, you know, to each their own, get stronger and stronger each year, and one or two factions can easily occupy 50% of the map in late gameplay. That is true. In the first 20 years, usually two or three kingdoms are eliminated, usually Northern Empire, Southern Empire, and Sturgia. For me, it's usually Northern, Western, and Sturgia. That's usually how it is for me. It was worse in previous versions, definitely. It used to be a lot worse. Like I said, there's a lot of improvements that did happen. And even in the first 10 years, 2 or 3 kingdoms were being eliminated. After developments at war/peace/tribute systems, weakened factions can stay 10 to 15 years more by making more logical pieces and paying tributes to strong enemies. However, it was not enough to fix the problem completely. Then, with help of some of our players, we realized problem is also related to Khazait's overpowered cultural bonus, or the kingdom bonus, the increased movement speed across the map, which is literally the best and honestly the most viable out of all the other kingdom bonuses. I think all the other kingdom bonuses, if we're doing tier lists, because, you know, that video became really popular for me, the one where I did about tier lists, the Khazaits have an S tier kingdom bonus. I might do a kingdom bonus thing, to be honest with you, and the rest of them are just like way below. Like, the other bonuses are just like garbage in my opinion. But all right, let's keep it going. So these upcoming developments for fixing snowball problems did not change faction bonuses. Even faction bonuses are still same and unbalanced after developments. Any kingdom cannot occupy 30 to 40% of the map in 40 years without player interaction. So there it is. So all those other kingdoms who aren't strong, the ones that aren't Khazay or Britannia, even after 40 years, they're never going to get to 30 or 40% of the map, which is a problem, which makes it kind of very, you know, it doesn't make dynamic gameplay happen. It makes it kind of, you know, you can predict who's going to rule most of the map at the end, which is one of these two, or Vlandia. For me, it's Vlandia, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, so when Bannerlord first released as early access late game, early access, late game was not very well balanced. We and most players usually played first 10 to 20 years. However, we have a feature in Bannerlord which you can continue to play from your adult child, your heir. So actually, games should be balanced for centuries. We know 90% of players are playing at first 10 to 20 years, but a good sandbox game could save its inside balance for 100 plus years. That is true. If you can have very, very long gameplays like that, where, you know, stuff is ever changing, you know, at one time the Khazaits are in power, then at another time Sturgia is somehow in power, and you have like these shift in dynamics, that would be beautiful to see. And if we could ever reach that point, it would be a great sight to see, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, and again, just off that point, I think that that's the balance we need to get to the point where if someone becomes too strong, the other kingdoms work together to push that guy back down. And if you really play well, then yes, you can still take over the whole map, but you have to play super, super, super well. It can't be as easy as, once you have 30% of the map, you can pretty much get 100% of the map if you're the player. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? You just rinse and repeat. But if new challenges arise as big as your kingdom grew, and hopefully the rebellions and hopefully the changes that we see from this, hopefully those kind of counteract a growing empire. Because a growing empire is very hard to manage. The bigger it gets, and there should be more problems that are associated with a bigger kingdom, in my opinion. Alrighty. Where is it? There could be some surprising things, like one faction getting half of the world, of course, but that should be rare. Yes, that should be rare. Secondly, but it also should happen as well sometimes, It shouldn't just never happen again. It just shouldn't happen as often as it does right now. Secondly, let's examine our current situation. Last week, several players, we checked these guys out. We're going to call them A and Blood. Made their own test to see situations in 1.5.4. They run games 20 years without player interaction and give us some tables. You can see these tables below. Half control points means 2 for town and 1 for castle. We looked over these, and they did a test to see, obviously, who has the most power on the map after 20 in-game years without player interaction. And as you can clearly see, they look very similar. Obviously, the Western Empire kind of fluctuates. Sometimes it does good, sometimes it does bad. But what you can clearly see is these 3 boys, they never really do good. And these 2 boys, they always do good, which is a problem. In my test, I got similar results. Khazes and Britannia got more than 60% of the map at the end of 20 years, and 2 to 3 factions are eliminated or left with 1 or 2 fiefs. And there are his tests. So, try to make that bigger for you guys. Hold on. That's as big as I can get. So what do we see here? Oh, he did it by year basis. Okay. Again, if you want to go check this out for yourself and to really see all the numbers, I'm not going to go over every single number. I'm not going to be like year this and then, you know what I mean? But by what he says, it's very similar to these results up here. Then you can see 2 problems here. First one, there are so many defections. Okay, so many clans are leaving and joining other places, which is a big problem in the game. I think it is a huge problem in the game, and I've said this time and time again. I think that the same way that you convince by yourself a faction to join you has to work the same way for AI. They can't just change from your kingdom to another kingdom just like that. They have to have like a talk with the enemy leader. It needs to happen on the map. You know what I mean? It can't just all of a sudden they switch their mind and boom, now I'm in Vlandia. Like, how does that happen without any interaction from the AI? I think the AI needs to have that meeting the same way that you have that meeting with some leaders. We don't have to. The player doesn't have to see it, but it should happen. It should play out that way. It shouldn't just be like, I don't want to be part of your kingdom anymore, so I'm just going to join Vlandia without talking to any of the Vlandia leaders. Like, how does that work? I think they shouldn't have that ability, if that kind of makes sense. They should have to go through that same process as the player. I don't know exactly how that would be done, but the way it currently is, it's very unstable, and especially when you're building up your kingdom, you're just going to have random clans just go, boom, I'm left, boom, I left, boom, I left. And it's just very frustrating. And I think there should be like some kind of like, I think there should even be like, not a vote, but there should be like a meeting with, like, let's say a clan is about to leave. They're thinking of leaving, right? There should be a meeting that you have with that clan and you sort out, hey, what do you need to stay, or do you really just have to leave? You know what I mean? And then there should be a bargain opportunity to keep him there or to just let him go. I think either one of those, like either make the clans go through that same process as the player or give us a last minute chance to fix the relationship. One of those 2 have to be implemented into the game, I think, personally. Because the whole random, oh, I left, I'm going to go join somebody else, it's it's not the best system in my opinion. Alrighty, where were we? That was a quick, you know, we're gonna have a lot of these. It's probably gonna be a long video, depending on how much more we have to read. We have a lot of reads, so it might be a long video. I might split it up to two parts, just because, you know, whenever somebody sees, you know, 40-minute video or 50-minute video on the YouTube timeline, they're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch it. You know what I mean? Just because of the time. So I kind of want to give, you know, I'm gonna try to break it off. I'm pretty much. We'll see. But second, minor factions are not joining weakened factions as much as it should be. That is true. Minor factions just literally join. Usually a big problem that I've seen in my gameplays is like, it's so hard to grow a kingdom, because it's like, if you go to war with a very strong kingdom, half of your clans and a lot of your factions, if you have them, they just automatically join the bigger kingdom because they're like, ha, you're losing, they're winning, see you later. And it's just like, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe that's, obviously that's how it's supposed to be in a way, right? If you think about it historically, if you're the small kingdom and a very big kingdom kind of, you know, comes in and is like, hey, you want to join us? And, you know, you can take over the small kingdom. Of course, you're going to say yes. But again, I think this is why we do need alliances in the game. Another big conversation we need to have, where there needs to be something that holds clans together, something that holds a kingdom together, other than just, you know, oh, I ran out of gold, or oh, my army got captured too many times, or oh, my town got raided too many times. You know, there has to be some, you know, alliances, whether it's through marriage, through this, through that. You know, it has to be something, if that kind of makes sense. And a good place to look for it is a game I haven't played in a while. Unfortunately, I didn't get into it as I wanted to, but Crusader Kings, they did a very good job at the whole alliances things. And that's a place that you can look at it, and the devs have stated they do play that game, so they have, you know, seen some good implementation that game has made. Alrighty, when a faction lost their territory, they should offer higher amounts to mercenary minor factions and recruit them to take lost settlements back. However, if weakened factions are having financial difficulties, they cannot offer high amounts to mercenaries, minor faction leaders. Then I made a detailed clan-by-clan examination to see another financial situation of clans, because financial activities are not also one of the biggest reasons of defections. They are one of the biggest reasons, yes, because obviously if you run out of money, they're like, okay, we're going to go somewhere else. Here's another problem I have. Now look, there's this problem that I have. I don't know how to actually... well, maybe I could think of a fix real quick off the top of my head. There has to be an easier way to hire mercenary leaders. I'm going to say it right now. There has to be an easier way. Finding the head of a mercenary thing is just a headache. I think if you find one of their members, you should be able to ask them to be like, hey, can I meet with your leader? Or can you ride to your leader right now and I'll follow you? Since we have the follow button now, I feel like we should be able to utilize it for that point. You know, like, you should be able to talk to a person who's not the leader of their clan or their minor clan, and you should be able to say, hey, go to your leader and I'll follow you. And boom, as soon as you click that button, your player character will automatically follow that character to their leader. If we can have that implemented into the game, oh my god, it'll be so much easier to get clans to join you, rather than just looking on the map like randomly, or just, you know, getting very lucky and meeting one of the leaders. I think that needs to happen. I really think that needs to happen. An easier way to talk to clan leaders than just getting lucky. I think it's a big pet peeve of mine, and I think there needs to be a solution. Alrighty, Alright, we got some data. Clan datas in first 20 years. Every clan has 4 datas for each year. First data is the leader gold as 1,000. If below 15, it has red font. Okay. Second and third datas, town/castle clans have. The fourth data, party size usage ratio. How much full parties are as percent. As example, if a clan has 3 parties with 100 party size, but they have 2 parties on the map with 75, the ratio is 50%. Obviously, okay. So Sturgia clans. Ooh. Okay, what in the world? So these are all the clans that start off in Sturgia. They kind of stay Sturgian most of the time. Okay. And as time goes on, you see they slowly start to dip. Okay. So first is gold. Second is towns or castles. Okay. Third, no, wait. Second and third, so this is towns, this is castles. And fourth is party size usage. So some clans struggle, but other clans kind of stay very similar. Alright, Azurai. I don't know what they mean by... I don't know what all the different colors exactly mean. Like the shading. Like you said, red is bad, but what do all the other shadings mean exactly? Let's open all these up. We're gonna figure this out by how all the other colors look. Alright, so obviously the Khazaits have this color, so that has to be the best color because they always do the best. So right here looks like Sturgian clans, and I'm guessing yellow is kind of like middle because Azurai is always middle in the tests. If you look back over here, no, let's look over here even. Azurais are always kind of in the middle. Okay. So by all these calculations, I'm not going to look at all the numbers. You can see Western Empire is struggling like crazy. Southern Empire, I don't know what all these other colors mean. That's the problem. I think that should have been listed a little bit better. But yeah, it's a lot of data. It's a lot of data. Let's see what he has to say about the data. Bring all this back. Boom, boom. Okay. As you can see, some factions have lots of defected clans. Background colors are indicating faction clan belong to. And then change of... Wait, hold on. As you can see, some factions have lots of defected clans. Background colors are indicating faction clan belong to. Change of background color means defection. Wait a minute. Background colors are indicating... Oh, okay. So since these guys are always just the same color, that means they have not defected. They just did not defect, ever. Like, they just stayed there because it was always such a good place to stay. Vlandia, for the most part, they all stayed. They just had some defections here and there. Southern Empire had a couple defections. Western Empire didn't have defections, or did they? I guess not. Sturgia, man, they had a lot of defections. Okay. But this isn't showing as many defections as I thought it would actually be. I thought it would be a lot more, actually. Interesting. Okay. When we examine factions of these defected clans, they generally have several clans with having financial difficulties. Defections usually happen because of combination of two main reasons: low relations with king, and then 2, losing all fiefs and having financial difficulties. If you guys didn't know, if your clans lose their fiefs, you gain a lot of negative reputation with that clan. So whenever you do give fiefs, try to be very smart with the placement and also who you give it to. You know, you might want to give a fief to a person who has a lot of relationship with you close to the border, because if it gets lost, they still won't hate you, right? And stuff of that nature. But alright, how much more do we have? Should I make this a part 2? Nah, we're gonna make this one video. Why not? Okay, so if you examine above tables, you can see there are 2 problems related to financial situations of clans. First is all money in all clans are getting more and more each year. First is all money in all clans. Okay, there is a money inflation. However, some clans are so poor and they are having difficulties in even recruiting men to their parties. They have less party usage ratios. Okay, so there's a money inflation, but some are still very, very poor. Okay. Also, probably some clans even have problems at feeding their men. That is true. I've seen a lot of starving. You know, that is true. Finally, these clans defect to another kingdom. Also, even some clans have nearly no money in same kingdom, and some clans have 1 million plus money. Yeah, okay. So you could be in the same kingdom. You could have millionaires, and you could have broke lords. So, yeah. It'd be cool if there was a way to like share. That would also be kind of cool if the AI kind of shared to like make their kingdom whole in general, but you know, I don't know. There's a huge difference between clans as terms of financial situations. This happens because of several reasons, but main reason is some clans remain without fief slash income, and there is no mechanism feature for fief redistribution. I'm guessing for the AI, right? This shows our first and biggest problem. Money should be distributed more equally among clans in the same kingdom. Then several developments are done to fix this issue. Create a kingdom budget, and any clan having 100 plus K money start to give 0.5% of their money, which is money minus 100K, to kingdom wallet daily. For example, if a clan leader has 200K, he paid 500 dinars daily to kingdom budget. Okay, this collected money is used to help poor clans if the kingdom, in the same kingdom, if any exist. Interesting. Is this the developments that we're going to get in 1.5.6? So exactly what I just said right before I read it. Okay, cool. So, all right. Each day, 500 gold money is given to any clan having less than 30K money. 1,000 gold is given to any clan having less than 15K gold. Okay. Player is out of these calculations for now. Maybe later we can include player also. Listen, man, I'm sick and tired of all this AI cheating. You understand me? No, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. Obviously, you as the player, you are still in the main advantage, you know, but yeah, the AI has a lot of cheats, you know, from recruitment of men to this to that and now to this, but no, it doesn't really matter. I think it's needed, right? We are trying to create more balanced financial situations among clans in same kingdom. Also, because there's a high money inflation, loot gain of NPC lords. Wait. Since there's a high money inflation, loot gain of NPC lords is decreased. For the ones who don't, For the ones who does not know, they have a different mechanic. They are getting money rather than items when a battle ends. Okay, so AI actually doesn't get the equipment. They just get the money straight up. Okay. There were no trade penalties applied to these instant loot money conversions. Oh, so they got a lot more money than the player would because he has to still convert them. Okay. However, as you know, there is a high trade penalty at weapon/armor. As player, if you try to sell or buy the same item, you see a high price difference. True. When trade penalty added to the loot/money conversion, money inflation is decreased. In total, clan leader money at mid or late game in the world is decreased. Unfortunately, because of reduction in loot, income of NPC lords, number of poor clans are increased first. Alright, so I'm guessing, so the trade penalty was added already, I'm guessing, or not. I'm kind of confused because this first thing where they want to add the whole system to give clans extra money if they're struggling, that's gonna be added. So is this also going to be added, the trade penalty? Because he states the trade penalty, while it decreases the inflation, it also increases, you know, the amount of poor clans. Let's keep reading. With the help of Kingdom Budget Addition I mentioned above, these poor clans are then reduced. Then we have healthier and more balanced financial situations. Still, of course, we have poor clans, but their numbers decreased overall. Okay, overall, I think I agree with this. Cool. To make minor factions... Wait, hold on. To make minor factions to join weaker factions, several... Okay, formula changes are also applied. Now weak factions with less fief/lord/strength offer more money per influence compared to 1.5.4. Okay, so minor factions join weak factions more now. Okay. After first changes, I collected data again to see the effects of the first developments. The time I made a 43-year test to see the bigger picture, more data. Data after first developments. Hold on. I like this more. Okay. What am I looking at here? Hold on. Control point graph after first developments. Let's see this first. Fortifications, mercenaries, number of clans. Okay. So fortifications. I'm kind of confused on this. Hold on. To make minor factions to join the weaker factions more, Several former changes are applied. Now weak factions with less fiefs / lords / strength offer more money per influence compared to 1.504. So minor factions join. So they join more now because the weaker factions will pretty much give more money. Okay. So after first change, I collect the data again to see the effects of the first developments. Okay, I don't understand exactly the graphs though, I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't really give you like, so this is the time. This is fortifications. So obviously the Khazaits go up. But then they went back down. Interesting. So I'm guessing when Khazaits reached the top right here, which was in what year? About 1110. 1110 right over here. The Khazaits reached fortification. Yeah, but that's still, you know, in that same year, the Battanians had the most mercenaries out of all the clans, and they were still doing good in terms of their fortifications. I don't know, but if it did help them bring it back down, then it's good to see, as you can see by this. They went all the way up, and then they went down. Interesting. Okay. All right, we'll see how it goes, but interesting. Alrighty. As you see from the chart and graph, because they still get 40% of the map at some point. However, they lost their areas after. Only one faction is eliminated at first 20 years, which is what? Pink. Wait, what? No, okay, I couldn't see. Oh, Northern Empire, of course. Alright, two factions are eliminated at the first 43 years after one faction remained with only one fief. We still have one big problem. Weakened factions cannot make comebacks. True. You could see this from graph and datas. They make OP factions work easier when conquering half the world. When a faction go below 10 control points, something like 3 towns and 4 castles, they cannot go up to 15 again. This makes game also a bit boring because you know that a weakened faction cannot save themselves from a bad situation. True. Listen, hey, when I'm in my playthroughs, and at a certain point, once I take over a faction, I don't even care. We can make peace. We don't have to make peace. They're just not an issue anymore, and I think that's a problem. I think that you should always, you know what I mean, always be looking behind your back, like, oh, they can come back, and right now they really aren't. Let's take a drink real quick because it's a lot of reading. All right. Let's see. This is a bit related to financial problems they are having. However, when I deeply examined, I see they also cannot form even armies because influence incomes are nearly all related to settlements they have. When a kingdom loses their settlements, they also remain without influence. They cannot form even armies. To fix this problem, I removed one condition at influence gain from supporter notables. Now supporter notables of a clan give influence to clans even owners of their settlement is... Wait a minute. Now supporter notables of a clan give influence to clans even owner of the settlement is in another clan. Ah. So that perk, that obviously you get whatever nobles support you, which pretty much means they have a high relationship with you. They give you like what, 0.1 influence or something like that, and you had to kind of own the settlement for that to be enabled. But now they're saying that you don't have to own it if you still have a good reputation with them. Now, is this another AI thing, or do players get this as well? So this is a good passive income for NPC clans. Even they lose their settlements, they can gain influence from their supporters. After this change, weakened factions become more resistant. They started to form armies and started to take back their lost settlements. Okay. I just want to know if that is that to players as well, or is that only to AI? We'll see. And is this already in the game? That's what I'm wondering, because I have seen that clans can obviously now form armies again. So is this already in the game, or is this still coming? We'll see. Alright. Also, some settlements were having prosperity penalties from issues not fixed. When I examined the code, I only see NPC clan leaders were solving issues with 10% probability when they enter settlements, which is very bad. However, some clan leaders were not able to form a party for long times if they were if they were to get prisoned and released, and if during the time another party is formed from that clan. Then the clan leader wait any of these actual parties to be destroyed. During this time, some unresolved issues were decreasing prosperity of some settlements to a very low level, like -1,000. I didn't know that. So if you don't do a quest at a town, it does decrease the prosperity over time? I didn't know that. I actually did not know that. Especially negative effect of clear bandit hideout issue was very high. Owner of these towns cannot get enough tax and having also financial difficulties. These problems are also fixed. Now all NPC lords can resolve issues when they enter a settlement with 5%. Wait, what? Now all NPC lords can resolve issues when they enter 5%. Also, if a town has a very low prosperity, like 1,000, now they get a small daily prosperity bonus. Okay. So if they get too low, they just get a bonus. I don't understand the whole 5% thing here. I might have read it wrong. When I examine the code, I only see the NPC lords were solving issues with 10% probability. I'm confused on this point right here. But okay, let's move on. Still got a lot to read. Woohoo! It's a lot of information here. Alright. Then, while testing the situation after first developments, I see another problem which usually weakened factions suffer from. Weaker factions suffer from. Some armies were not buying food even when they were starving. After examining this problem, I see this was happening when an army is far from all settlements they can buy food from. The problem is also fixed. So even when an army is far to all neutral towns, they stop what they are doing and return one of their closest towns when they start to have food problems. Also, sometimes I see lords in a weak faction which are forming an army even when they have so less troops, like 10 to 20 men, and success ratio of these armies were low. As you know, lords can join armies when they have at least 40% of the party size is full. This condition was not applied to army leaders. Now it is applied except player. Okay, these small fixtures should started to make things better for weaker factions. Okay, so what he's saying is before, if you were the guy who called the army, you didn't have to have the 40%. Just everybody else who joined had to have 40% of their troops. And that is now fixed. They have to have 40% to start an army. Okay. One more development is clans do not care. Do not care only king's relationship now while defecting. They also care how their relationship with other clans inside that kingdom. Interesting. Okay, so before they only cared if the king liked them. If they didn't like the king, they would have left. But now if they do like the other clans as well, then you know. Okay, now this brings up another thing. There should be a way to increase relationships in between your clans. A great way that I can think of, that I think that you know, a lot of people have wanted in the game for a long time, is a sort of feast. You know, a sort of like coming of all clans just to show up in one place and have a good time. That's how relationships get formed. That's how relationships go up, you know, in real life or in-game life, whatever you want to say. So I think this might be a good time to think about that in terms of this change. Alrighty, after all these developments, actually there are more, but I am not mentioning half the developments / bug fixes. Next week I can add more changes. I got below results. Data after mid developments. Oh! So this was after the first one. Still kind of a mess, right? But look at this now. Huh. He wasn't playing. When he said, I'm going to get this fixed, he was not playing. I like that. I like that. I like this. Look at this. Where's the Kazetsa? They're finally not on top. They're still kind of on top, but they're not there. You see that? It's right there. And the guys who are on top are Britannia. Alright. Okay, so as you can see from the above data, any kingdom did not get eliminated in the first 43 years, which is huge, actually. Also, Vlandia goes below 10 control points at some years. Vlandia is yellow. and then went back up. Ooh. What's called? Also, Vanilla goes below 10 control points at some years, but then they make a comeback and reach 20 control points at the end of 43 years test. So this will be more surprise comebacks when you play 1.5.6. Okay. If you examine clan tables shared above, you can see party usage ratio data. Fourth data for each clan is getting less and less every year. Fourth data, which is their party size usage. He said is getting what? Is getting less and less every year. Oh, their parties are going down because they can't afford it. Party usage ratio is 100 if all parties in a clan uses all party size limit completely. For example, if a clan has 3 parties, however, they only have 2 parties on the map with 75% of the party usage, the clan's party ratio becomes 50%. Okay, we've been over this. This ratio starts with 70 to 80% average on all kingdoms, and it becomes 50 to 60% average after the 20th year test. I examine its reason and see that if a lord escapes from prison as wounded, they are not healed entire game. Really. Except player, because players get its party right after escaping. Healing systems were only applied to heroes in parties. If a hero is even a prisoner in a dungeon, healing is applied to if he escapes, and when he is wounded, he cannot be healthy again. Interesting. This bug was one reason this party usage ratio reduced over years. Also, newborn heroes were not being active when they reached 18 years. They were not forming armies. This bug is also fixed. Interesting. Good, good, good. So when they become 18 years, they start forming armies. So you see new lords in parties. Yes. Yes. So you no longer, no longer do you see once you get like a clan with like 4 people in it, 2 of them die due to in battle, and it always just stays at 2. I want to see new people turn 18 and then boom, now they join the clan roster. I think yes, this is very big actually. The problem also affects weak factions more because they lost more heroes compared to the strong factions, and after a point have so less parties on the map. True. Games should continue with same 70% party usage ratio all time. After fixing these bugs, the problem is also fixed. You can compare these before and after fixes. How's this looking now? Okay. This was the before. Okay, and this is the after. So still a little bit of a drop, but better. Okay. As you can see, these 2 bug fixes, we have a higher party size usage ratio average at late game. In this table, they are dates, not 1 year, but per 5 years. I want to spend less time, so collected data once per 5 years. Here are control point datas. What are we looking at? Data after bug fixes related to not spawn parties back lack of heroes. We're getting there. Look at this. Look at this. We're getting there. Okay. Wait a minute. What does it say? It says Western Empire. Whoa, whoa! I'm not ready for that change. Hey, I'm not ready for that change. Western Empire. Listen, I've been talking bad about Western Empire and Northern Empire forever now. You can't put them in the lead now, man. Come on now. All right. So as summary, there are much more bug fixing developments to fix this issue, but I could give details from some of them. Next week I can give more datas and tables. Yes, we got another drop, baby. Hey, this drop was like an update. I like it. I like it. It was like a patch. You know what I mean? I like this. If we're getting another one, I'll be on it. This is a big, huge issue. Now kingdoms are more balanced. There are less poor clans. There are less defections. There is no big money inflation. Even weak kingdoms can make comebacks, and at late game, there's not less parties on map. With more balanced kingdoms and even more comebacks of weakened factions, gameplay will be probably better. True. Also, another team member is working on rebellions currently. We're in coordination with him. When rebellions are added to the game, we will be hopefully more balanced because rebellions will happen in mostly captured towns with low loyalty, and new rebel clans will want to join previous kingdoms, which will have the same What? Wait a minute. This is interesting. New rebel clans will want to join previous. Oh, so clans will turn into rebels. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry for my. You're good, man. You're good. Don't worry about it. Because I'm not. Nah, you're good, man. Listen, you did a great job explaining. Nothing to say about that. Again, I need to underline that these developments will take place in 1.5.6, not the next one. Have a good weekend. I will answer all questions, discussions with you at the spare time in the weekend. Now need to go to dinner. Damn right. All right. Here's the world situation from the final solution. You can just open all these up real quick and we'll look at it. All right. So 15 years of in-game time. We all still look pretty normal. States got a little up. Yeah, they do. Britannias are falling apart. Azerai are falling apart. Southern Empire is falling apart. 20 years. Britannia came back. Azerai came back. Southern Empire came back. Interesting. 25 years. Southern Empire got back down to 2. Azerai kept expanding. Britannia's and Valandia's kind of traded. Sturgia's still chilling. Gazate's chilling. 30th year. Looks very similar. Sturgia took some losses. Western Empire is doing pretty good. Britannia took some losses. 35th year. Britannia is still the same. Sturgia's struggling now. They're all still in it, but Azrai's still pushing here too, as you can see. 40th year. Valandians push back. Azerai back to 3. They're going out bad. Britannia somehow got a place up here. Okay. In the 43rd year. So overall, 43 years, everyone's still in it. That's good to see. That's good to see, regardless of how big or small they are, and it's good to see. But alright, boys, long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my commentary of it, and hopefully I provided some helpful information with the developers, helpful information, and hopefully it was informative. I am going to, obviously Monday when the beta patch comes out, expect a video. When the next drop that he does next week, expect a video. Whenever he answers people's questions in this thread, because he hasn't yet, I checked. Expect a video. Expect a lot of videos. I got a lot of videos planned. I got a lot of good ideas planned. There's gonna be a lot of Assassin's Creed content for now. The game just came out. It is what it is. I gotta build my channel. I gotta diversify. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna be covering Cyberpunk next month as well. And overall, thank you for all the support on all my videos, regardless, of anything. I do really appreciate it. We've been growing. We continue to grow. Feels good. I'm trying my best to make sure that your sub is worth the content and just, all of that. I have a Discord. You guys can go join it. It's a group for Bannerlord stuff, other game stuff, just my community. Go join it there. Patreon, if you want to support me. There's no paywall. There's no extra videos. It's just plain support. And that link will be down below. And yeah, hopefully it was informative. Ask me any questions, any concerns. And like always, stay safe.